coming soon.
Are you a Matt?
There's Matthew right there. He tweeted
Matt or Matthew?
Matt.
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 Mike,
Matt.
lovely
Hello.
to meet you.
Good to meet you. I saw you saying, hey, I'm up next.
Yeah, no, I've
Here
been
you go,
listening
you're up.
live. yeah.
That's fantastic
That's great.
segue there.
Yes.
Matt
So,
Ensor, is
that's
that correct?
right.
From Becca.
Indeed.
Right person, right place, right time.
That's all coming together, isn't it?
You have a session. I'm reading notes.
Future
Can you tell?
We had a session yesterday.
You had a
The
session.
future of
Oh, you did,
urbanisation.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those great topics that
Come on in.
you can solve big problems by doing little things, and sort of urbanisation, something where we can use the old solutions. We can build more houses. We can build more roads. We can expand the sewage treatment plants. All kinds of really boring things that engineers do. Or we can look at technology and say, actually, how do we make Auckland a better place to live? How do we deal with growth? How do we deal with these things?
The big problems.
So that was the focus of the session.
Wow.
Trying to bring in technology and saying, hey, there's a new way, listen and see what we can do together.
Well, I can imagine there's a bunch of Aucklanders right now going, what was the answer? How, then, does technology...
More cranes the answer? No? I was just looking at the skyline.
Probably not. One of the things people are... The world's changing. My role at Becca, a lot of it is to look at new technology. Look at how our clients are changing, what their customers, what their expectations are changing, and then change our services, because we're consultants. We only live off the back of doing things that people value. And so we're seeing some big changes. One's technology, and no doubt we'll get to that. But the other one is a lot around trust.
Oh, okay.
So trust is becoming really important in terms of how do you deal with government, how do you understand what cities are trying to do, how are you kind of believing in the vision that city leaders have. And so what we know is that trust is quite low. There are surveys around the world saying, how much do you trust local government? How much do you trust central government? And unfortunately, the bottom of the pile.
Out of a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being total trust and 0 being I wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire, where do you put local politicians? Just stick up your number.
Oh, that could be interesting.
No names. You don't have to say because of this person, and if you want to.
It's fairly common around the world, actually. The answer doesn't change much.
Really?
Yeah. Certain countries do. But no, it's about 80%. So 80% of people, if central government or local government come out and say something, 80% of people will believe that they're misleading them.
Wow.
So what we've got to do is we've got to get over that lack of trust. If we're going to build and we're going to change cities, we're going to have vision, we need to think of new ways about relating to people.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just got a question off the book face.
Go for it.
Facebook, I mean. Someone asked me to ask you about Becca AI, and what do you call it?
Yeah. So one of our initiatives, that's probably a good lead-in, one of our initiatives is to work, we call it an ecosystem, I think it's a very trendy term, but previously our clients and the public and their stakeholders have kind of worked together, and we worked with our clients to our stakeholders. What we know is that it doesn't work that well at scale. So if you're dealing with 4 people, to get to 4,000 people is quite difficult. The other thing we know is that often the media discussions around what cities are doing and what transport plans are tend to focus on a small group who are very actively negatively affected, at least in their own minds. And so what Becca AI is about is about using, and it's conversational AI, but it's how do we build relationships, how do we upscale, if you like, the way that we can interact with the community. One example I use is that we can go onto Twitter, we go to Facebook, and say, hey, what do you think? Now, if we get 1,000 responses, at the moment, that's really difficult to respond to.
To do anything with,
If you get 10 responses, it's hard to do that in real time. Imagine if you get 1 million responses, how do you deal with that? And so that's obviously conversational AI.
Still waiting for my 1 million responses, by the way.
So it's a long-term process. We're sort of in the hype cycle at the moment with conversational AI. But what we're saying is, actually, the services in the future that Becca offer, AI will be highly integrated with what we do.
So that person who asked, is that because, now it's probably a question for them, they've seen it in action?
So Graham was at a presentation we gave yesterday, so he's kind of got the inside.
Nice work.
No one's anonymous.
We know who it was, yes.
Yeah. We just formed an AI steering group at Becca. We thought this would be pretty easy, so the 3 of us got together, and we sat down and we thought, well, what should we talk about? And what we worked out is you look at generative design, so this is AI designing things just through sensor inputs and things. You look at machine learning, we're doing a lot of work in that. You look at conversational AI, predictive maintenance, all this kind of things. What we worked out is actually having a steering group, you're kind of going to have to cover over time everything that we do.
That's right.
So I suppose that's our theme. That's why we joined Tech Week. This is our first year in Tech Week.
Very cool.
Because we are a technology company.
Yeah.
People think, oh, you're
just engineers.
Yeah.
And that was true 10 years ago.
Right.
But I think now this is what we're known for. You know, if you come to Becca, you won't just get a narrow answer. You'll get an answer which hopefully understands.
I noticed it's not all just architecture boards and computers now. I was at the Melbourne office a year ago doing a little thing, and I noticed they were using the Oculus and all sorts of other stuff and the Vibes, and they're doing all this augmented stuff. So he's walking around a building site and he got bonged on the head by a pipe. In real life, that would have hurt. He just did, we need to adjust this. And you guys are on the cutting edge there, doing that kind of stuff. And that BIM stuff, it was amazing.
So we've had clients say to us, my goodness, you've saved, you know, we wanted that, we didn't want that beam going through there. You know, there's no way we could have changed that later.
Yeah, exactly.
To do it in AR, VR is...
And they've said something about it's just too hard to explain on drawings, for example, or 3D viz, right? Once they put the person in, they go, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Better do that then. It's going to hurt. And it's just amazing how it's changed the way they work. It's amazing. Yeah.
It's funny they say every company is a tech company now. You're not a tech company. You use tech to do your thing, but tech is.
No, I think we're one of the most significant tech companies in New Zealand.
Okay.
I mean, we're not an IBM, we're not a Microsoft.
Yeah.
But our advisory practice is 800 people, which I think is the largest advisory professional services practice in New Zealand. And part of that, our tech business, which was standalone about 10 or 15 years ago, has been growing ever since. I couldn't give you the numbers of what we do. But no, we're sort of world-renowned for what we do in technology. The problem we have, and I think it's the problem a lot of New Zealand companies have, is we're a well-kept secret.
Yes.
That's it.
So once people find out about us, they don't want to let go. But until that moment,
so now you know.
Our brand kind of makes it hard.
Yeah.
True.
Now, well, now you know.
Yeah.
And Tech Week, you're all over Tech Week, which is a good thing, by the way. You think it's a bad thing? It's not like you're over it. I'm over it. No, it's you're part of it. Or, For yourself, what's the event that you think? Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Well, there's a couple. There's one that's quite narrow. There's one this afternoon on security of information and facilities and things like that, which I'm dying to dash back to. I think Izzy mentioned this one around creativity.
Yes.
And AI, because creativity is a massive thing in engineering and design. And so as AI gets more and more involved, we don't want to end up plain and vanilla. You know, we don't want every building to look the same. So for me, that's the big thing. We've got an entry in the awards on Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Going down?
No, but it's called Beacon. So this is a great example. So Christchurch earthquakes and Kakura earthquakes, there was a lot of being our structural engineers. Every time there was a significant quake, they literally had to get out of bed and rush around and check buildings because this is a life, a life important issue. And so we thought, well, we can automate this. So what we've done is we've designed tech, which it's automatically listening all the time to GeoNet and things like that. But when a quake happens, it will instantly work out which buildings probably need to be inspected first. So this is kind of world leading. It's just because we happen to live in a place where
we need
it.
Good testing ground.
But so we're hoping to be successful in that case.
And so that product, if you like, or that service is up for an award.
Nicely done.
Well, we'll see.
That's
That's very cool. Now, how do people get in touch with you?
So Becca's is an interesting organisation. We've been around for 100 years. We're about to head into our second 100, which is, excuse for lots of really good strategising and thinking. But a lot of people have been at Becca for a long time. So I've been there about 20 years.
Yeah.
And so we implemented a knowledge management system a few years ago. I think it was pretty impressive, state of the art. And Becca people kind of go, well, that's great, but why don't I just ring someone? Because they'll know someone who knows someone. So the best way to get hold of Becca is literally to call anyone you know at Becca. Use your networks. Because within a call or two, you'll find the expert. I'm all over social media, so Matthew Ensor on Twitter or LinkedIn, people will find me.
Facebook just
and
before,
and Facebook, that's right. So I'm really keen. To me, it's about partnership. You know, what we're doing here is we can have a little silo at Becca, but actually it's NZ Inc.
Yeah.
We're competing against the rest of the world. We're not competing against
Auckland versus Wellington versus whatever, or your company versus. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. What would be the best this is like your ask, someone out there is hearing this and going, I don't know if I should. What's the thing that someone has in their mind and you're going, you should have a conversation with me? So pick up the phone, even if you're a bit, I don't know if I should. Oh. Is there anything out there you go, I want you to talk to us? Or
so I suppose it comes back to our theme around urbanisation. So that's a massive problem for New Zealand, or a challenge for New Zealand, not just Auckland. We share, you go to any city in the world, they probably have the same problem. So what's really important is that what works in London, what works in Sydney, what works in Hyderabad isn't going to work here. So it's people who have ideas about how, in small ways, we can improve the development of urbanisation in New Zealand.
What do you mean by urbanisation?
So this is.
I think I know, but I don't think I know.
This is how people experience living in cities and how cities grow, how they deal with the challenges of growth. So there are things that are really frustrating about Auckland, and so a lot of the work we do, I'm in transport. So my challenge is to solve Auckland's transport problems bit by bit.
I suspect you're going to get a few tweets now.
But a lot of it's just about frustration.
The bus is late.
It's not about, congestion's never going to go away.
Yeah.
But it's just so difficult to use public transport, or it's just so problematic to take my bicycle places. So it's solving those small frustrations where people actually say, well, Auckland, a big city, we got big city challenges, but I love living here. That's, to me, the heart of urbanisation.
That's a very good. I like that approach. Yeah, it's what makes you happy to be here, and not what makes you grumble. And if you take away all the small pains, people are happy. And we never asked you. What makes you happy?
Well, you got the answer there.
Yeah.
It's solving big problems in small ways.
Excellent. Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It's been great to be part of TechWeek.
Excellent. And you're about to poodle off to your next...
Yeah, hopefully I'll get back in time.
We won't watch up any longer.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thanks a lot. That was Matthew. Nice. All right.
That was awesome.
Wow.